Hi, I'm Adrian Stevens, and this is my match analysis project. So for this analysis, the competition is the A-League, being Australia's professional men's football league. I've chosen Central Coast Mariners as my team and analysed their performance against Brisbane Roar in round 1 of the 2018-19 season. I've then analysed the round 1 fixture between Melbourne City and Melbourne Victory, given City the Mariners' opposition in round 2. Specific analysis is made towards Victory, with the aim of finding how the Mariners can exploit City using similar strengths to the Victory, as well as how the Mariners can prevent City from being a threat in attack. So for this analysis I chose 5 key performance indicators, or KPIs, to mainly determine how the Mariners and Victory both performed in attack, which also highlighted City's strengths and weaknesses when defending. So these KPIs are the percent of shots on target from total shots, the outcome of entry method into the box, the percent of shots from attempts into the box, and the number of passes before a shot was taken. The final KPI is focused on the Mariners and Victory's defence and where they forced the opposition to lose the ball. So to break these KPIs down further, the first one, being the percent of shots on target from total shots, is fairly self-explanatory. So out of all the total shots taken, how many actually went in the goal or was on the correct trajectory before being saved by the goalkeeper? And this KPI was also broken down into whether the shot occurred inside or outside the box. The point of this was to see what the shot quality looked like, given that the further from the goal the shot was taken, the lesser the chance of it resulting in a goal. For the outcome of entry method into the box, as well as the next KPI, the box was broken up into 3 zones, as shown in this diagram. So there's the left zone, the central zone, and the right zone. And the entry methods were a header, dribble, short pass being less than 20 metres, long pass being greater than 20 metres, a free kick, and a cross. And a cross was different from a long pass by being a lofted pass over the defence, whereas a long pass was generally played closer to the ground. So the KPI of percent of shots from attempts into the box is how many shots were attempted when the ball entered from the left zone out of all entries into that zone, and then the same for the central zone and the right zone. And this KPI provides an idea of which area of the pitch the Mariners are most successful at attacking in, as well as where City might be stronger or weaker at defending. For the number of passes before a shot was taken, this KPI was determined for all 4 teams and gives an idea of how the teams build up their attack. A small number of passes could indicate either a counter-attacking style of play, with long passes and fast movement breaking through the opposition's defence before they can get into position, or it could indicate that they press high and win the ball back close to their attacking goal, requiring only a pass or 2 before taking a shot. Whereas a large number of passes indicate that the team prefers to build up their play, taking their time until an opportunity presents itself, or they have outnumbered the opposition in a certain area. And so the number of passes can be shown with quantitative analysis, while the actual style of play can be shown with qualitative analysis. So as mentioned, the final KPI is focused on the Mariners and Victory's defence, and where they forced the opposition to lose the ball, and this was determined by if a tackle was made or pressure was applied. So what wasn't considered losing the ball by force was a loss of possession from a misplayed pass, losing possession via a long ball from defence, or a defensive block by the opposition, such as from a shot or a defensive header off a corner. It also wasn't considered a lost ball if they regained the ball through a corner, throw-in or free kick. And this KPI gave an insight into whether the team presses and wins the ball up high, or if they win it closer to their defensive goal, either by allowing the other team to have the ball and just ensure they have players between the ball and their defensive goal, or if it was because the defending team was under pressure and struggled to win possession off the opposition team higher up the field. So the quantitative analysis showed that the Mariners had 28.6% of their shots on target compared to the Victory's 46.7%. And of the percent of shots inside the box, both teams were similar, with the Mariners at 57.1% and the Victory 60%, although Mariners had just under half as many attempts as the Victory, with 4 out of 7 compared to 9 of 15. Also, both teams scored their only goal from inside the box. The Mariners averaged just 1.33 passes before a shot, the least amount of all teams. City averaged 2.67 passes before a shot, then Victory with 3.27 and Brisbane with 3.58. So given City averaged almost a pass less than the Roar, this is something the Mariners will have to be wary of. City's 2 goals came from limited passes, the first from 4 passes, whereas the second goal, being a penalty, came after just 1 pass before a foul in the box gave them the penalty. The Mariners' only attempt through the right zone did not result in a shot, whereas their 12 attempts through the left zone resulted in 0 on target, and 8 of these came from a cross. Their 17 attempts through the central zone resulted in 29.4% on target, still quite a poor return. But with that said, it was shown that 3 of their 4 dribbles into the central zone ended in a shot at goal. The Victory, on the other hand, converted 2 of their 5 attempts through the left zone into shots, being 40%, with both coming from crosses. But only 15.8% of attempts through the central zone and 21.4% through the right zone resulted in shots, and 6 of their unsuccessful right zone attempts were from a cross. So for this graphic, the red dots indicate where the ball was lost, and it should be made clear that these dots represent where these events happened throughout the whole game, as though they were running the same direction in both halves. So that is, the penalty box shown is their defensive box for the whole match. And it's shown that the Mariners won the ball back predominantly in their defending half and quite centrally, and only forcing Brisbane to lose the ball 5 times in the Mariners' attacking half. But this paints quite a different picture with Victory, and they appear to have won the ball back mainly on either side of the pitch, but predominantly on the right side. So you can see on these pictures, the orange circle on the Mariners' side shows the majority of where the opposition lost the ball, and it's quite central and covers most of the length of the defending half. Whereas compared to the orange rectangle on the Victory side, it's on the right channel and all in about the middle third of the pitch. Interestingly, in both orange zones, there are 13 lost possessions, which provides a really good understanding of where each team mainly won possession back in comparison to each other. Also, only 3 times did the Victory force City to lose the ball in Victory's defending third, compared to the Mariners 9 times, further proving how high Victory were winning the ball back. When qualitative analysis is conducted on the matches, it can be seen that the goals scored by both the Mariners and Victory came from where they predominantly forced the ball off the opposition throughout the match. So the Mariners' goal resulted in a build-up of just 1 pass, as shown here. So they win the ball just outside their defensive half, play 1 quality long pass out to the right, where winger Connor Pain cuts back inside and shoots just inside the box. And this goal, as well as the Mariners averaging 1.3 passes before a shot, indicate that their way of attacking is to counter quickly and effectively, which is shown here can be strongly successful. So compared to the Victory against City, while they averaged 3.27 passes before a shot, their 1 goal came from a long build-up, taking their time and amassing 13 passes before eventually scoring. And this indicates that a slow build-up could be more effective against Melbourne City. However, with that said, only 3 of the Victory's 15 shots had 6 or more passes leading up to it. So this indicates that a quick build-up could also potentially be successful in creating chances, assuming the team attacking against City is proficient in that style, which the Mariners appear to be. So in terms of entries into the box, as mentioned, the Mariners had 8 through the left zone, with 4 coming from crosses, and none resulting in a shot. So it begs the question of whether the quality of the crosses were good, and there were no players in the right position to take a shot, or if the crosses were quite poor. But as you can see from these examples, it appears to be that the crosses weren't actually too bad. The balls were in a good area, but no one was in the right position to attack it. So this suggests that despite decent crosses being put into the box, a different option may be better where an attacking player is already positioned, or the attacking player just needs to be better positioned and anticipate the cross. So for the Mariners' strengths, the biggest one was that they counter-attack very well, as evidenced by their goal. But besides that goal, which I previously showed, here is another example of how they quickly break forward after winning the ball. Another strength of theirs is their ability to take shots from inside the box, as well as their ability to attack through the central zone of the box. And both of these strengths are displayed here, and although it's not a good shot, at least the chance was created. They also displayed a strong ability to win the ball back in the centre of the pitch. However, the Mariners did display some weaknesses which should be rectified in training. Only a third of their shots were on target, which isn't good enough, especially considering Victory's accuracy was 46.7%, almost 20% better than the Mariners, and yet still lost to City. Also, as discussed and shown with the qualitative analysis, out of the 8 entries through the left zone via a cross, not a single one was converted into a shot. And this is an important statistic given Victory only had 5 entries through the left zone, but was still able to have 2 shots at goal, both coming after a cross. So if the Mariners can continue crossing the ball through the left zone, they should be able to have scoring opportunities if they work on the finished product. So when improving the Mariners' weaknesses in training sessions, 2 of the weaknesses can be improved by creating a shooting drill, focusing on entering the box via a cross from the left zone and taking a shot from inside the box. Another aspect to work on in training are the fullbacks and wide midfielders winning the ball back on the wings. And while this may not necessarily be a weakness for the Mariners, and more of a tactic they showed against Brisbane, Victory won the ball back countless times off City on the wings. So it would be worth exploiting this weakness of City's and then counter-attacking from there. And then to further build on their strengths, it would be important to practice fast counter-attacks. It worked well against Brisbane and it looked to be successful against City, with Victory having 13 shots with a build-up of 5 passes or less beforehand. Also, they should practice finding the end product through the central zone of the box. Enough chances were created, but not enough shots were taken. However, unsurprisingly, the goal did come through this zone. In terms of opportunities for the Mariners to exploit Melbourne City, one key way is to counter-attack quickly and have limited passes before a shot, just like Victory did against City. This prevents City from getting into an effective defensive position quickly. Also, City allowed Victory to have plenty of shots and allowed the majority to be inside the box. So while the Mariners might not get as many attempts to shoot, the majority of their attempts will be from inside the box, and so another opportunity is having high quality shots at goal. Another opportunity is crossing the ball from the left side. The Mariners showed their ability to do this against the Roar, and Victory had 2 of the 4 crosses from that side result in a shot. So this is definitely an area the Mariners could exploit against City. And you can see 2 examples here, and the crosses themselves are not all too dissimilar to the Mariners' left-sided crosses I previously showed. The difference is a player is in the right position, and particularly with the second example, is able to create space to work a shot in. The major threat for the Mariners is that Melbourne Victory won the ball back most times on the wings and high up the pitch, whereas the Mariners won it back in the centre of the pitch, closer to their defending goal. Because of this, Melbourne City might exploit the wings with high pressure, isolating the Mariners fullbacks in a 2 vs 1 situation, getting behind the defensive line and putting a ball into the box that way. Alternatively, with the Mariners often relying on winning the ball back in their defensive third, as shown in this example, if they are unable to win the ball in that position, it creates a high-risk situation so close to their goal. Another threat is when the opposition take their time in building up the play before taking a shot. This drags players out of position and was the way Brisbane scored against the Mariners after putting 9 passes together, one of only 4 times they put more than 5 passes together before a shot. So while this doesn't appear to be the way that City create chances, it is something to be aware of and build into future trainings against more possession-based teams. So the take-home points of this analysis are the following. Mariners need to improve their shooting accuracy. Despite 0 out of 8 shots resulting from a left-sided cross, using this entry method and zone will provide a good scoring opportunity against City. Counter-attacking quickly is a valuable strength of the Mariners, and the Mariners will be more successful against City by pressing higher and forcing them to lose possession in wide positions. Thank you for listening.